na ayaw magpabakuna. And they are really the carrier. They can travel from one place to another, carrying the virus and then contaminating other people. Ito yung ayaw magpabakuna. Kaya kung ayaw pabakuna, ipabakuna ko yung sa bakuna ng baboy. Yung ivermectin. Iyon ang ibakuna ko sa kanila. Tigas ng ulo eh. Don't get me wrong. There is a crisis being faced in this country. There is a national emergency. Kung ayaw mo magpabakuna, ipa-aresto kita. At ang bakuna galing tusok ko sa puwit mo. Kayo, hirap na nga tayo, tapos nandiyan pa kayo pagkaraming So, kung lahat ng Pilipino nakikinig kayong bantay kayo. Don't force my hand into it. Kung hindi kayo magpabakuna, umalis kayo sa Pilipinas. Go to India if you want, to somewhere, to America. But as long as you are here and you are a human being that can carry the virus, magpabakuna ka.
The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. During the administration's latest public address, infectious disease expert Edsel Salvaña emphasized the need to implement the 10+4 quarantine strategy for arriving travelers. Salvaña insisted that this is necessary to ensure that an infected individual will not spread the virus to others, especially with the emergence of the highly contagious Delta variant. To tell us more about this and other issues, we have Maricel Halili joining us again live from Mandaluyong. So good morning, Maricel. How does the President intend to deal with Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia's insistence on enforcing her own quarantine policies in the province?
Good morning, Charles. Where President Duterte has been consistent in his statement about the national policy on the inbound travelers. President Duterte mentioned to his public address last night that the national policy must be implemented because the policy imposed by the Interagency Task Force and of course Malacanang is more powerful than the ordinance passed by the local government of Cebu. So the IATF resolution on the inbound passengers or inbound travelers must be implemented also in Cebu. President Duterte also warned or talked to the justices in courts that they must not issue a decision which can be a hindrance to the imposition of the national policy about the inbound travelers, because President Duterte said that he will not follow this particular decisions. So better not impose such decisions. He said that the national interest is very important, considering that we're still facing crisis these days.
The President addressing Governor Garcia at the same time the court. So let's talk about face shields for a minute. Why did the President suddenly backtrack on foregoing the use of face shields outdoors, and what did our health experts have to say about this?
This is because of the advice from the medical experts. If you recall, Charles, last week there was a tweet from Senator Tito Soto saying that the President has already decided that the mandatory wearing a face shield must only be imposed inside the hospitals, and this was actually confirmed by presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. After that decision, there was an appeal from the Interagency Task Force asking that the wearing of face shield must still be mandatory in indoor venues such as restaurants and hospitals. But then last night, during the Talk to the People, some medical expert, particularly Dr. Edsel Salvaña, mentioned that the new variant, the Delta variant, is worse compared to Alpha variant, or that particular variant which came from the United Kingdom. He said that the Alpha variant is 60% more transmissible as compared to the original variant. But then the Delta variant, which is the virus that came from India, is 60% more transmissible compared to UK variant or the Alpha variant. So we can see that this is more dangerous as compared to the other variants. So the medical experts advised the president that it is still important to require the wearing of face shields anywhere we go because it's an added protection.
Added protection, Mase. Let's talk about vaccination. How are we doing as of today? How many Filipinos have been vaccinated so far? And what are the new vaccine shipments that we should look forward to?
Well, based on the report of Vaccine Sir Carlito Galvez, more than 8 million Filipinos have already been vaccinated. They are very optimistic that we can reach the target of 500,000 jobs per day because last June 15, we have reached the highest job so far. The national government reported that they were able to inoculate more than 322,000 Filipinos. And considering that we're expecting more vaccines to be delivered to the country, it is not impossible to achieve the 500,000 jobs a day that we are targeting. Vaccine Sir Carlito Galvez said that we have already secured 115 million doses of vaccines to be procured by the national government. This is on top of the vaccine doses which will be donated by the United States and of course which will come from the COVAX facility.
Right, Mase, let's talk about the Delta variant again for a minute. The concern is that it may have a differing effect depending on which vaccine brand you used, whether or not this works on the new Delta variant that's been emerging. What did the FDA have to say about this?
Well, President Duterte is also concerned about the efficacy of the vaccines, existing vaccines, given that we have new challenge because of the new variant from India. Well, FDA Director General Undersecretary Eric Domingo said that based on initial reports, the existing vaccines are still effective against the Delta variant. Of course, the efficacy is lower as compared to the original COVID variant, but it is still effective. Yusek Domingo said or advised the public that it is important to make sure that they will complete the doses of vaccines to at least maximize its efficacy.
Masay, I understand that there is this new order from the president to go after those who choose not to get vaccinated. What do we make of this new set of words from the president, and how will this be implemented?
Charles, it is difficult to interpret the statement of President Duterte last night. We still have to clarify to Secretary Roque how serious is President Duterte with his statement ordering the arrest of those who will refuse to be vaccinated. As we all know, it is our rights to decide whether we want to be vaccinated or not. But then considering the health crisis, probably there is also a power, or there is also the government's power to decide whether to arrest those who will refuse to be vaccinated or not. But we still have to clarify these things, especially it has legal issues. As we all know, the statement of Malacanang changes every now and then. Last week, Secretary Roque said that the statement of the president about the face shield is already a policy because it was already President Duterte who spoke about it. But then there were other incidents like those statements of President Duterte talking about the killings related to drugs. When we asked Malacanang about it, the presidential spokesperson that it was just an emotional outburst coming from the president. So I think it's just the same issue after the statement last night. We still have to clarify it with Secretary Roque, how serious the president about the order.
Thanks for those updates, Masay. That was Maricel Halili reporting live from Mandaluyong. Vaccine expert panel member Nina Gloriani says the Delta variant is the most problematic and worrisome coronavirus variant today. In an interview with The Big Story, Gloriani explained that that's because of its high transmissibility and ability to escape first-generation vaccines. That's why Gloriani warned that vaccinees must still be careful to avoid catching the Delta and even other kinds of COVID-19 variants.
We also have to worry because, if people continue to go around without protection, then it is possible they may get the variant. You still have to take care that you do not expose yourself too much, even if you're vaccinated. Remember, we said that for all vaccines, the protection is more against severe form. So there is that possibility of the mild to moderate COVID also affecting these vaccinated individuals.
South Cotabato Governor Reynaldo Tamayo Jr. claims the province's positivity rate has reached 80%. On One News' The Chiefs, Tamayo said South Cotabato has been recording the highest cases in the region, and this is due to increased testing in the province. The governor takes this as proof that they are doing effective both in testing and contact tracing. And the World Health Organization, however, recommends only a 10% positivity rate as benchmark for adequate testing.
Ako'y natutuwa dahil napakaganda ng positivity rate namin. Sabi ko, huwag natin tingnan yung numbers. Kung ilan yung nagpa-positive. Ang tingnan natin kung gaano tayo kabilis na matrace yung takbo ng virus dito sa ating probinsya.
Heads up, music lovers. Some big names in the industry, both local and international, are releasing new content. Nick Garcia has the details.
Oh, Red. Burning Red. Taylor Swift is re-recording her 2012 album next. It follows the remake of her 2008 album, Fearless, released last April. Taylor wrote, "That resembles a broken-hearted person. For her, imagining the future might always take you on a detour back to the past." Taylor's version will have all 30 tracks that were meant to go on the original album. It will also feature a 10-minute song. Red will be released on November 19. Back here, Ben and Ben released their first ever Korean version of their 2017 hit, Leaves. It came less than a month after their collaboration with Youngtae of Day6. Ben and Ben have long been associated with K-pop. Recall that they once topped the search chart of Melon, South Korea's biggest music streaming platform. Several K-artists cite Leaves as their favorite Ben and Ben song. They've also covered several K-pop songs from BTS, EXO, Red Velvet, and Twice. Nick Garcia, We Are One News.
And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.